Hi there. Today I'd like to share an MCP server that I built and I'm now releasing as an open source project on GitHub. The project is part of my dissertation for my master's in AI. I originally developed it as one of a component of a larger system, but I realized that if I extract it and make it standalone, the project could be probably useful to other developers and researchers as well. So the project is called WEKA MCP, and it allows MCP compatible clients such as Claude Code, Codex, or OpenCode to access WEKA's machine learning tools. For a little background on what is WEKA, it is a Java based machine learning toolkit that provides ready to use machine learning models and allows you to do data processing, classification, regression, clustering, and model evaluation. There are actually a few videos online that talks about WEKA and how to use it. WEKA MOCC and Google for Developers would give you a lot of information about it. So, a high level architecture of how this looks like is the MCP client sends data to WEKA MCP, then to WEKA API, and finally to the WEKA library. So the MCP client could be a coding agent, such as what I told you before, Codex or Claude Code or OpenCode, and it connects to WEKA MCP either through an MCP endpoint or port 3000, and then it sends out to the WEKA MCP, translates your queries or your um, message from the client to an API request to WEKA API. So WEKA API is actually another open source project that I built. It provides an API around the WEKA library. Its main role is to make it make the WEKA machine learning's functionality accessible through standard HTTP. Um, so in simple terms, it allows the WEKA MCP access to these APIs. So the next step is for me to demo how this actually works in the real world. So what you need to do to initially set up is you need to download the repository and then run bin setup on your terminal. So you should be seeing something like this. Once you download the repository, run bin setup, and then it's gonna tell you, it's gonna log all the things that it's done, and at the end of it, it's gonna set up on Docker, and then it's gonna give you specific endpoints. What you should be looking for is the MCP endpoint, which is localhost 3001 for this case, and then you copy that, and on Claude Code or whatever whatever LLM you're using, what you need to do is open up settings and find connectors, and then you click on add connector, add a custom connector, and you paste what you've copied here and you add a name. What ends up happening is it will be added here. So this is one I've already set it up. So let's test it out. Can you check if the MCP the WEKA MCP is working? So yes, it's working. So now let's test out an application. I mean a dataset. So I actually set up already a dataset, which is a bank full CSV, and I can show you what that dataset is. So this is how the bank full dataset looks like. These are the columns, these are the rows, and the label from my understanding, just looking at the dataset, is Y. So it's either gonna say no or yes. So let's see if WEKA MCP and Claude could also detect that. What I could do is, can you analyze the bank full? You actually don't need to do this, but I just like to do it. You don't need to mention WEKA MCP. So it asks you what it wants to do because it's accessing local files and using an MCP. It has the summary here. Oops. Okay, so it wants to generate a histogram. Histogram. So it used for tools. I want to use attribute selection. And now it's evaluating the model. I think it's evaluating 4 models. Okay. Yep, it's evaluating with 4 models. So I think it's using naive Bayes, J48, logistic regression. RF is, I don't know what RF stands for, but we'll soon find out. Okay, here's the result now. So with this simple prompt and using the WEKA MCP, let me make this bigger. It actually showed this widget and some exploratory data analysis, summary of the models, confusion matrix, class distributions, also it gives a summary of what it found out, like the top predictors and some model comparison. So and it actually, I think it looked into, because I just provided data set, I think it's part of its LLMs, the LLM's data set. It actually, which is a bit dangerous, it assumed that it's for the Portuguese bank's telemarketing campaign. And it already has an idea of what target Y is, which is also a bit dangerous if you're not, it assumes that and it's actually not that. But anyways, yeah, I hope WEKA MCP helps you. And if you have problems with setting it up, let me know. And thanks. Bye.